Well, hello everybody and welcome back down into the dungeon, where today we are taking a look at the beginning of the winter pepper garden for the 2018-2019 overwinter gardening season, if there is such a thing. Yes. So, on that note, right now, things are coming along fairly well, surprisingly well, actually. There are a few of the plants that I brought in that are looking a little sketchy, but that said, a little sketchy is better than obviously dead. So I'm pretty sure by this point last year, we had a couple of fatalities. Let's take a look at the 20 on the floor, shall we? You know what, let's start with a shelf and work our way down. On the right, we've got the matchbox pepper. Now this one is showing some signs of suffering and has lost a lot of its leaves. But if we look really carefully, like over here, I see some pretty decent healthy looking leaves, and I'm hoping that it's just growing its indoor leaves and everything is going to be okay. I am ripping those peppers off of there on a daily basis so that the plant doesn't have to deal with that, but I am trying to let them get ripe first. The Ahi Guyana beside it, that's been down here this whole time, so it's not really adjusting to much other than being on a shelf. And, well, I guess it was recently transplanted into that container there, so it seems to be okay with all that, though. And then here we have the Ahi Lemon Drop in its little coffee can situation. It needs a new label, but much like the matchbox, if we look at this one really closely, it very much looks like there are some fresh new leaves growing in there. So that might actually produce some fruit in the long run. That's kind of interesting. Let's see beside it there, the parsley's doing alright, the mint in the back is doing okay, the tricolor sage cutting, that would be the one in the back there, seems to be doing better than the broadleaf sage, but you know, you win some, you lose some. And those three astrid peperomias are, well, they're doing great. Elderberry cutting, doing fine. Not really peppers, are they, though? A Dieffenbachia always looks so weird on the top shelf, but growing sideways out of a middle shelf seems perfectly normal. And a bunch of spider plants doing fine. What a surprise. Starting with one of last year's heroes, I guess, for the floor peppers, we can see the El Oro is still dropping leaves left, right, and center. But in all fairness, she was doing that all summer long outside too. And again, looking at this, you know, the top here, we see a lot of new leaves that seem to be forming on the top. So I'm very hopeful that these are new leaves prepared to deal with the indoor light. And this plant is just going to carry on carrying on. Again though, like the matchbox pepper, when I see them ripe, or even mostly ripe, they're going upstairs. A lot of them are hitting the dehydrator, and I'm okay with that. I mean, it is kind of tragic and scary as you shake it and all those leaves fall off, but that's part of life, and I am still getting some peppers out of the deal. Tuck those in the pocket for now. Got the Ahi Ahujapan here. This one also is showing some signs of new leaves and carrying on. Lost a lot of the flowers that were on here, lost a few of the peppers that were on here, and that's fine. The goal is to keep the plant alive. Looking down here, we can see some color setting in on that tip. I thought I saw there's a little bit of color setting in on this one. So I'm hopeful. I think it's going to do alright. The sand dollar here, we've got some really very skinny leaves just above my pinky fingernail there, but I do take that as new growth. Like I said, nothing is getting any kind of fertilizer. Looking down here, we've got all of this fresh leaf growth too. Nothing's getting any fertilizer, so I don't know. I'm very nervous about that because I feel like I should be giving it something because they're trying to produce a lot of new leaves and they're trying to deal with a lot of, well, just kind of like transition stress. But if that's how I've been killing my plants before, that's what I've got to avoid, right? So the MOA Scotch Bonnet seems to be transferring well, it seems to be doing better than most of the peppers, actually, that have come in. Got the I'm in No Rush Peach, dropping lots of leaves. No big deal, because we've got fresh growth on the top. So I think, even though a lot of these things look really tragic, like the hot lemon here, lost all of her original leaves, but he's putting on new ones right away. So yeah, even though I think a lot of these look really, really tragic, things are gonna be okay. Here's a beautiful ripe pepper. Not the Red Demon by any means, but looks nice and tasty. Should powder up nice. Very good, very good. Nepalese Belle here. I can't believe how well this thing is doing. Still got its peppers on there. Might actually ripen up. Not too much leaf drop on this one yet. Lost a few of her flowers, but that's okay. This is another not a Red Demon. Got some nice pods on it. I'm not seeing a lot of flowers on here, or any flowers for that matter. But now that it's done its initial leaf drop, seems to be okay, you know, it's fairly healthy. We got one of the Ahi Penix here, still losing leaves, but again, fresh growth, still holding on to some of those pods. This one here, now, this looks terrible, right? But if we look at it really close, you see those? Again, I mean, they're just tiny right now, because everything's only just come in, and all these leaves are just doing the best they can to get going. But that is covered with new potential canopy. So I'm very, very hopeful that these plants are actually going to make it. The fact that I've got drainage and everything this year really will help. Flooding and, well, over fertilizing. These have been the killers in my garden. Even, look at this. This is the paper lantern. Lost all of her leaves early. Still seems to be coming back. I do see some signs of aphids on here though, so I am going to be going through squishing things as best I can, because as I have mentioned in a previous video, I am going to try and avoid spraying anything other than water, and occasionally water with a little bit of Epsom salt in it. That's it. That's all I want to spray. No soaps, no garlics, no freaky stuff of any kind. Because it's coming back, and I want to keep them alive. The Sugar Rush, or I guess, once again, it's an I'm in No Rush cream, I believe this is. Still got some kind of greenish tint to the bottom of that, so I don't think it's even close to ready yet. And I'm guessing this is one of those ones that when you think it's ready, give it another half month or so. That one doesn't seem to have as much of a green tint to it, but still a bit, so waiting on that too. This is the mysteriously sturdy pepper from outside, continuing to be mysteriously sturdy, so that is good. No pods on it yet though, but it is what it is. Here's the Red Demon that grew true to form, and oh, look at that beauty. Come here. Bending over like 4 feet to get this guy. Not sure the plant liked that, but nice little pepper. Again, we can see the beginning of leaves coming in. New canopy. Very exciting. The 2017 Yellow Scorpion. I don't know how that thing's still alive, but I'm not questioning it. The Sage coming back to being pretty happy indoors. It was pretty happy last winter, so I'm not surprised by that. And I guess that leaves us finally with the I'm in No Rush Red. Not even close to seeing anything that looks even remotely red on any of those pods. Again, the leaves are falling, but new leaves are forming. So I'm unusually hopeful for the peppers this year. At the very least, a lot of these peppers will get a chance to actually ripen up on the plant. And you know, In the practically inconceivable best case scenario, I'll actually be able to keep all of these plants alive until next year, and then I'll have them all putting on pods like that Matchbox and the El Oro and some of the older peppers have done for me. So that is a potential idea I really like. Wouldn't say it's an outcome I'm counting on though. So yeah, anywho, I'm gonna wrap it up there. I got some more chores and stuff I need to get done, and today's kind of, well, I got started on this video kind of late, so it's probably gonna get posted kind of late, but yeah, I'm here, I'm still working on it, everything's fine. I'm just busy little bear. And on that note, I will see you guys tomorrow.